Hey, Intermodal Trucker here. My name is Larry, and we're going to do some tractor work here. I got to do some welding repair on my brother's tractor for him. So I figured let's get this puppy rolling and get it put down in the shop and get working on it. I'll see you there. Well, as you can hear, I got my truck still running. I got to fire up the tractor. Give her a second with the key on, and we'll see if she fires. There we go. There we go. We're hooked up. We're down here in the shop and we're going to get started welding up on this here mower for my brother, and I thought I'd show you guys what's going on and how we're going to do this. So you can see here, this is the arm that is broken right here. I don't know if you can see that, trying to get you to get it close to you. You can see how that is broken right there. So that's what we need to do. So the first step that we're going to do is we're going to separate these two pieces of metal, and we're actually going to have to grind these at about a 45-degree angle so that we can allow it to lay a bead of weld down inside of here. So that's what we got to do now. I'm going to fire up the tractor, lift it up in the air. I'm going to fire the tractor up. I'm going to lift it up in the air, which will separate the two pieces of metal. And then I'll be able to get a grinder in there and clean the metal all up nice and get it prepped ready for welding. And then I'll put it back together, tack it together, and then I'll start laying some beads of weld on there. Probably have to do around, I'm thinking around 3 passes on each side. And then once we're done with that, then I'm going to cut some reinforcement piece of steel and lay it over the top of the whole thing and weld that all into place. So let's get started. Well, there we go, guys. You can see we got our welds in there. We got it all nicely welded up and everything. But that's not where we're going to stop. We're also going to reinforce it. We're also going to reinforce it with this piece of steel here. This is 3/16 by 2 inch cold steel. What we're going to do is we're going to cut this about this long, and we're going to weld this right over the top of this. We're going to grind this all smooth, the welds I just put on there, so it lays down nice and flat. And then we're going to cut it about that long, and we're going to tack it on there and then bend it over the top and then weld it all the way around. And that's going to add strength over the top of the weld. So that'll be the next stage. There we go. You can see you got this one welded all up. This I got a little boogered up. I was trying to stay out of the way of the camera over here, but it came out okay. A little grinding work. It'll be good. Well guys, there we are. I am finished with it. It's all welded up. Well, it isn't a perfect welding job, but I guess I haven't welded for a little while. I need some more practice. But she's all welded up. She's all ground up. Ready for a little bit of paint. You can see here. She's got a brace on each side of her. She's welded in the center. That thing is going to be stronger than the other side is. So she'll be good to go from now. The next thing I got to do is I got to get this PTO shaft here. It's stuck out like it is sitting right there. I've been spraying it all day with some PB Blaster. And it's kind of like a WD-40 except it actually works really good. And I'm going to have to disconnect it and then I'll pound it in with a hammer and then grease it up and get it working. But there it is, guys. One tractor fixed up, ready for some mowing. To show you guys what I use for a welder, I bought this a few years ago. This is actually a Miller-Matic 180. I can weld anything with this. I can weld aluminum, stainless, steel, anything I want. It's actually a pretty cool little welder. I don't think they make this one anymore. I've had this one for probably about 8 years, something like that. But this one here, if you actually look on here, it actually gives you the size of the metal around here that you want to weld. And it has an auto set thing. And so you turn it on the size of the wire, there's 30 and there's 24. And then you set it on the size of the wire and then you set it right over on the size of the thickness of the steel that you're welding. And it will automatically set itself for the voltage and for the speed. So you don't have to sit there and constantly adjust it and weld it and figure out everything. There's also, if you open up the door, there's a chart in here and this will tell you, you know, what it should be at, what the gas flow mixture, what type of gas to use for kind of welding and everything. And then also up there, there's a spool gun attachment. And that actually attaches onto the front here. You pull this lead out of here and it attaches on, and then that lets you weld aluminum. And it works really well. So I like this little welder. It works real well for me. The only problem with it is it has a poor duty cycle. And what that means is that if you're say like this here, you're welding like, you know, 1/2 inch steel or you know, 3/8 steel or something pretty thick, and you're putting a lot of weld down. It's high voltage going through the machine. If you weld for like 5 minutes straight, what will happen is the welder will kick off and it will go down and it will go into what's called a cool down mode. And then the welder will stop welding and a fan will continue to run, and it will run for like that for a little bit and then it'll kick back on. It has I think it's a 40% duty cycle. They do make a I think it's a Miller-Matic. I don't even know if they make this one anymore. I think it's like a Miller-Matic 220 or 230. I'm not sure on that. But it's supposed to have like a 10% more duty cycle. It really hasn't bothered me. There was one time when I was welding a frame of a semi-trailer, and I had a lot of welding to do, and I was welding cross members up underneath there, and I mean the welds were probably about 6 feet long, and it was just one after another. And it did become a pain in the butt with that, because I'd weld maybe about 1.5 feet, 2 feet, and then it would stop. And I'd have to let it cool down and then keep welding. It was kind of a pain in the butt. But we got her done. That's the only time I've ran into a problem. Otherwise, I mean, usually the welds are a couple inches long, maybe max, and that's it. So there we go. So until next time, guys, I will catch you guys later. I hope everyone is having a great day out there. If you're not, we're going to try it again tomorrow. See ya. Whoa, 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 whoa. We forgot something, didn't we? We forgot to put a coat of paint on there. There. What kind of job am I doing here? Welding up stuff for my brother and everything. And then we turn around and just leave it all rusty metal. There. Now we're done. See ya, guys.